Well, it's been another fantastic year of gaming. We've had some good, some bad, and some really bad games in 2024, but you know what else we have? Those games that we've just decided to shelve for the rest of the year. The games in our libraries that will go on to collect digital dust until the day comes when you decide to get up off your ass and give those games some love. This is the gaming backlog. Now, I have some games in my gaming backlog that I've been meaning to get around to, but newer games, they keep popping up like whack-a-mole here and there, just whoop, 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 taking up much of my game time. But given that 2025 has a bit of a quiet lineup of new games for the first half of the year, I'm going to be sharing with y'all the top 5 games I will finally be completing this year for 2025. If you've watched any of my more recent streams, you'll know that I've already begun playing Lies of P. Now, Lies of P is number 1 on my list because it is a game I am most desperate to experience. After having beaten Black Myth Wukong, I have this continuous itch, this continuous urge to play a Souls-like game that continues the theme of a more combat-focused game rather than an RPG-focused one. Yes, of course there are RPG elements in Lies of P, but the game's combat system is why I have started to play it and why I look forward to completing it. I love the aggressive, in-the-pocket combat style that Lies of P wants you to play with, and the parry system is right up my alley. I'm playing like 3 separate games right now that has a parry system very similar to this. The art style is another big pull for my desire to finally play Lies of P. The Belle Epoch period architecture mixed with gothic elements and mood makes the player feel the post-apocalyptic, post-plague world that NeoWiz is trying to immerse the player in. Keep a lookout for more of my Lies of P content. I do plan on reviewing this one without a shadow of a doubt as soon as I'm done with it. I'm very happy to do it, and yeah, let's keep it rolling. Second game on the list is Sifu. Sifu's the action beat-em-up game inspired by all those Chinese films we've all seen with the insanely impossible jumping physics, the crazy choreography. Yeah, think of Ip Man or some of the earlier Jackie Chan films us 90s kids saw during our childhood on repeat, like on TNT when it used to be a cable channel. Sifu has been a blast since I started to replay it. I'm currently on the 4th stage, and I just have to say something real quick about the art design. The contrast of levels makes the very clean, very elegant, very colorful art design of this game stand out so much more. You get the very earthy tones from the first level, the very neon colored tones in the second level, that very club-esque style of color of bright blues, even dark blues with some red lasers thrown in there, neon pink, neon green, neon purple. These very vibrant cold colors. And then to contrast that, you have the combination of all of them in the 3rd stage, the very art exhibit like abstract style of art that you happen to see within the entire art show. It's fantastic. It is a literal art show, and this game has done nothing but impress me with its presentation. Look for a review on this game as well, because this is definitely one worth having. Also, if you have this game on your backlog, I know it's hard. I know you have to learn to master the fight mechanics. Please do so because it is spectacular. Third game on the gaming backlog will be Nine Souls. Nine Souls continues to be that game that I'll start to play for like 4 hours and then for some reason leave it be for like a month or 2 before picking it up again for another 4 hours. I hate that so much because continuous break makes it harder to learn both the fighting mechanics as well as the world. Also, taking breaks makes understanding the story that much bit more difficult because this is one that should be enjoyed continuously. Nine Souls has an amazing story, and for a Metroidvania platformer, it has some pretty deep combat outside of just the Sekiro-inspired parry mechanic as well. The Eastern culture-inspired Metroidvania has been incredible to play, and its slight hints of horror spread throughout the game gives me this uneasy addiction that I need to continuously experience to kind of satiate that. For those that don't know, Nine Souls was made from the people that brought you Detention, a psychological horror indie game. That horror DNA does seep into the game to some extent, definitely in some areas. It's a bit strange, you feel uneasy. I mean, heck, if you think about it, the game opens up with human sacrifice. It is definitely not for the lighthearted, and I absolutely do hope to finish this one as soon as I'm done with Lies of P and Sifu. It's a must play for me. Returnal's the 4th game on the list. I have an excuse for delaying Returnal. It is impossible to stream without absolutely destroying my in-game performance, which is why I don't stream it anymore. I've tried multiple times and just, it's not. You know, I turn everything down to low. I understand the performance drops are a part of stream, so that's to be expected. But holy cow, does this take a massive hit. I end up playing at like 40-50 FPS on a 3070 Ti with the settings dropped all the way to low. And then when it dips down to like 20 FPS, sometimes even like 18. It's ridiculous. Despite this, I'll just have to find some time to give this game the love it deserves because the audio design alone is worth playing this game. The world atmosphere and the true feeling of being in an extraterrestrial world with biology unlike that of anything on Earth just makes you feel this incredible immersion that's almost inexplicable. It's simply breathtaking in every sense of the word. Quite a visually stunning game with an equally interestingly scattered story. The bullet hell elements are fantastically well complemented by the character's movements in this roguelike as well. You know, you're able to move side to side, you can jump certain distances depending on how long you hold, you know, the jump button. You can dash backwards too if you have, you know, the stamina for it or the thrust available for it. It's just really good. This is a really good game that everything works so seamlessly, this perfect synesthesia to bring about the experience of a lifetime. And I'm very happy that I'm making the decision to enjoy all of it to its fullest capabilities. Last but definitely not least is Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. Hear me out, I've played about 9 hours of this game already, but there was definitely a level that literally made me quit playing this game. You know, it's the classic FromSoft ganks. There were a bunch of units already, but then there's also these 2 AC units that were kicking my ass for some time before this big ship comes out of nowhere that I have to destroy as well. It was quite ridiculous. It's in chapter 3. It's like the 3rd little act of like one little pack of levels or something like that. I had probably already fought and beaten some of the more difficult bosses in the game prior to this level, but I just found this particular level to just be utter ass and I decided to explore other games. I kind of just had enough of that. I was like, I hate FromSoft ganks. I hate them in Elden Ring. I hated them in Dark Souls 3, and I hate them in Armored Core 6. And yeah, I just kind of left Armored Core 6 to collect dust in my Steam library, but I will be getting back on the wheel because prior to this level in chapter 3, I was having some of the greatest gaming experiences with the boss fights like ever. The boss designs in this game are simply amazing. The attack patterns, the visual. I think that the boss fights are absolute cinema and the mobility in the game is unlike anything I've ever experienced before. FromSoft, yes, their gangs are fucking annoying, but they are masters of enemy design, and I hope to finish up with Fires of Rubicon sometime in the first half of the year. I know y'all didn't ask for it, but I don't care because it's time for the bonus game. Yes, I'm talking about the Dead Space remake. I started to play it on my stream as a Halloween special, but honestly, I'm kind of a pussy when it comes to anything horror. I think horror is like a coin. It's either really fucking stupid and cheesy and it's terrible and it scares nobody, or when done correctly, it's extremely terrifying, frightening, and anxiety inducing. Dead Space does horror the right way. The atmosphere, the little things in the background, the world building, the world storytelling, these are all things that contribute to a perfectly scary, very uneasy world that they've created on the Ishimura. It's fantastic. It's so good that I can only play the game for about an hour and a half before I have to stop playing because I need a shit break for a breather and obviously a shit. You know, I'm kind of scared that I'm gonna shit myself when I'm playing this. Just goes to show what an excellent job that the devs have done in recreating one of the best horror games of the 2000s. This is not an action game. Yes, it has action in it, but it's more of a horror game because you feel a bit helpless when you're playing. You move really slow when you're shooting. You can only run around at a certain speed when you're not, and then you see like these necromorphs just still running at you with their big ass limbs just ready to chop your face off and eat your neck out. You know, it's crazy. But it's time to put the big boy pants on because I'm coming for this game. I want to finish it and I hope I got the time. Alright, y'all, what do y'all think of my gaming backlog list? Please leave a comment down below, and if you want to let us know what your games on your gaming backlog is, please feel free. It's been a pleasure sharing with y'all, and be sure to hit up that like button. It lets YouTube know that this is worth pushing. Appreciate it. And if I've earned a subscription, please hit that button too. Show some love to the games y'all paid money for. Don't just let them collect digital dust. See y'all in the next one. Peace.